Dad, welcome back. We are here. Fiorentina is the team.
Yeah.
The iconic purple of Italy.
Well, actually, they didn't used to be purple.
No?
When they first started off, they played in red and white stripes, or red and white kit, should I say. And I've read a lot of the teams in Florence, if they're playing for Florence,
Yeah.
they play in red and white still now. But the story is, whether it was true or not, I don't know, going back in the day, that they went to the local river to wash the kit, and the red and white ran, and it died, and it went into purple. So they played it purple.
Well, there we go. Well, that is a fantastic story to
Yeah.
start us off with. I mean, they are iconic in that purple. And it's,
definitely, yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I love Fiorentina, because
Yeah.
I remember them as a child with certain iconic players, which I'm sure we're going to mention.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But I'm the same. I watched Italian football back in the time when it was on Channel 4.
Yeah.
And you knew exactly what they were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's start off then. We're in season number 1 of this rebuild. Now, I think we need to start off with looking at a couple of players that we're going to base this rebuild around, because they have some players, viewers, which you probably all know about, who can be amazing in this game. And we've seen a couple of them in rebuilds previously. Starting off with this Serbian centre-back / right-back, Nikola Milenkovic. He is a fantastic defender on the game who, if we wanted to keep him, if we could keep him, to be honest, because I think, he's very sought after.
Yeah.
He's someone to really base our defence around, and somebody who could take us all the way if we really needed him to. He's 6'5", he has great physical attributes as well. Great defensively on both technicals and the mentals. He's not bad at passing either, with that 14 passing. So
Yeah, good, yeah.
he also has a couple of Serbian friends at Fiorentina. They have a bit of a Serbian base, mainly up front. Now, he's seen this guy a couple of times on the rebuilds already. Dusan Vlahovic is 21 years of age, and he is a beast. We can already see the finishing, the heading, the great long shots, and in real life in a minute, he is banging in the goals. I think the statistic I've seen, 40 goals in his last 50 games.
We're going to need it in this league, because everybody knows Italian football is all about defending, so you need a goal scorer.
Absolutely, and he hopefully is going to be the guy we can pin our hopes in for the whole of the rebuild on doing that. The strength, the pace, he has everything. Very strong left foot as well, so I don't know what it is, but if they're left-footed, it just means more to me, because they're just rarer, aren't they?
I've played against left footers loads of times, and I just think
they can strike a ball better.
There's just something about them, and you just think it's awkward and they sort of got a different touch about them, and
Yeah.
you're like, where do they go?
I think they just strike a ball better as
Yeah.
well. It's just one of those things. Now, I've actually not even signed a player. Mainly because if we take a look at their transfers, they didn't really have a lot in the budget. And this first season, I don't think we really needed it. So I've lined up a tactic. I've created a tactic. You guys have been asking to see the tactics that I have been sort of designing myself. This is a custom kind of gegenpress. It's a positive mentality, a 5-3-2, using roles that I've wanted to use for a long time. And I think really this Serie A is the perfect league to use a 3 at the back formation. They're quite famous for it.
Yeah.
The wide centre-backs, and we've got one of the best, Milenkovic. He is a wide centre-back on the game. It's a new role introduced in this version of Football Manager. We're keeping him on the defence though. We've got the half-back role just in front to kind of help security at the back, because we've got these full-backs who are going to be bombing up and down. Ball-winning midfielder in front. We've got a lot of players for Fiorentina who are that centre midfield role, who are busy players.
Yeah.
The kind of players who work really well in gegenpress, win the ball back and just lay it off. Nice and easy ones.
That's what you need, really.
Exactly.
Your workhorse, really, isn't they?
Yeah, and then we've got Mazzala on attack role here, which for somebody like Castrovilli and Bonaventura, I mean, Castrovilli is slightly injured here, but he's a fantastic young Italian player on the game who can develop quite nicely in that Mazzala on attack role. We haven't secured him because we've also got Bonaventura, who's a little bit older. We've got Vlahovic, and we've got another pressing forward role there. We've got a couple of strikers on the bench that can fill that role in, but we want him to be playing every single game.
Yeah.
As well as Dragalski, who's a cracking goalkeeper on this game, as well as Milenkovic. So I'm going to show you basically the tactic. We're going to play through the middle. We've got the wingers there if we need them. Passing into space. We've got higher tempo, playing fairly wide. We're not doing too much on this end of things in the final third, but we're floating those crosses in because Vlahovic is 6'3", with good jump and reach, good strength.
Yeah.
In transition, we are gegenpress. We're counter-pressing them and we're counter-attacking them. We're distributing the ball to the centre-backs. We've got 3 good centre-backs who are decent on the ball. And out of position, we are high line of defence, much high line of engagement, using the offside trap. And with a trigger press of more often, we're not pressing too much, because as the intensity be way too high, our players will be knackered. We won't be able to last the whole season. So that's basically what we're looking at as a starting tactic. Now, of course, Fiorentina was the team voted by you guys in the Patreon poll for the Italian team selection. Torino was winning for a long time.
They were, yeah.
I told Dad, I was like, it's probably going to be Torino, they're winning, and then all of a sudden, Fiorentina, I checked on the last day, won it in the end. So yeah, so if you want to get involved in Patreon polls, patreon.com/MegaLukeGaming, as well as let us know all of your team suggestions. Yeah. If they keep getting mentioned, I mean, teams like in the Conference North and stuff, they're not going to get picked because they're not going to be enough suggestions, they're not going to get any views. But if you've got decent suggestions for rebuilds, put them down in the comments. The more they get suggested or thumbed up, then they will definitely be part of the Patreon polls. So Dan, we've got our tactic selected.
Yeah.
We've got our players in position. Let's simulate this first season. So, at the end of the first season, we finished in 3rd place.
So for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they are, I think their like media prediction was to finish about 6th or 8th, one of the two. And they tend to be that club.
But Juventus, that's a good one.
Yeah, Milan as well, AC
Napoli,
Milan, Atalanta, who have finished in Champions League spots the last 3 or 4 years.
I'm surprised with Lazio winning the league.
Lazio winning the league, only 6 points behind them.
I love watching Lazio.
Yeah, I've got a soft spot for Lazio as well because of obviously the players like Gaza and Platt as well was there.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's a lot of Italian clubs that I've got a fond thing
there's some
for.
good players that play for those teams, isn't there?
They're both the Milan teams I like because of certain players in the past, and Fiorentina as well for players like Rui Costa and Batistuta, two iconic names and I like both of them. So so 3rd place, I'm really happy with that. Dusan Vlahovic got 30 goals this season. The highest average rating though was Milenkovic, 7.97 throughout the whole season.
Yeah, that is good.
So Bonaventura does look like he's been playing that Mazzala on attack role with 17 assists this season. So if we do take a look at that, he's played 33 games, started 28 of them. So by the looks of it, he has started most games in that Mazzala role, which does surprise me. I thought Castrovilli would be the assistant's choice. But there we go. Maybe that's something we have to look at in the future. Other competitions then, because we do have an Italian Cup. Let's see how we did. Quarter-final. And unfortunately, I think we were knocked out by a team we are far superior in Sassuolo. In 10th place.
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate, really. If we do take a look at the Coppa Italia, AC Milan beat Atalanta in the final. So, disappointing. If we take a look at our squad then, 30 goals were scored by Dusan. It's kind of the same similar run that he's going on in real life right now. 10 goals behind what his appearances is, which is still phenomenal, really.
Yeah.
Especially Kanzuni's got 11 assists. Nicolas Gonzalez has been the player playing up front with him. Very decent player as well. I haven't really heard much about him, but pace-wise, a bit of aggression. So, I like that pressing forward style of player. He's picked up a few amount of goals as well, 22 goals and 6 assists. Milenkovic from centre-back, 18 goals, not bad from set pieces and such because he's like 6'5".
Yeah.
He's a monster from set pieces.
Yeah.
Well, corners, yes, but they've patched it now.
Have they?
So we won't see as many.
All right.
I was fuming.
I bet you
but
were,
still,
New tactic was working all the time.
I know, right. So assist-wise, Baraghi and Bonaventura both getting 17. Dusan, of course, getting 11. So first season, I'm happy with that. We've got Champions League football.
It's hard to think how we're going to improve on this, really, to be honest with you, because we've got a goal scorer, we've got a good defence, so it's going to be very picky what we bring in to improve on that.
Yeah, I mean the players. I mean we're losing a couple of players now. So Odriozola and Lucas Torreira from Arsenal, they're both going back to their clubs now. I'm telling you now, we didn't get them back, and that's 2 first-team players that have been playing for us this season. So it's holes that we already have in our team that we need to fill, rather than like where you have players who aren't on loan. It's just improving those players. That's going to be the tricky part of the very beginning of this rebuild, as well as keeping the players like Dusan. We can see he's wanted already by the big clubs of the world, of European football, and same as Milenkovic, Bayern Munich and Real Madrid.
I don't think the Italian league has got so much of a pull that it used to be, because obviously the money in
used
it
to be
is
the biggest.
Yeah. And the Premier League is by far the biggest league in the world, I think now. That's where the money is, and that's where players want to go now. Don't they?
And I think the only real rich team right now in the Serie A is AC Milan. I think they're the only one who has that sugar daddy kind of owner right now.
Fiorentina, well, they went into bankruptcy, didn't they, in 2002?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, one of the things they were founded in what year was it? 1926.
Yeah.
But they were also founded in 2002 because they went in bankruptcy and they were chucked out of the league.
Yeah.
And a person came in and bought them and they put them into the lower league, which is I think it was like 4 leagues down.
C2.
That's right, yeah. And the first season they played in that league, they won it.
Yeah.
So the next season, rather than going up, they put more teams in Serie B.
Yeah.
And the league made it bigger, so they automatically put Fiorentina into that league. So they jumped one league, and then that league, they played the first season in that league. They actually won that league. So it took them 2 seasons to get right back into Serie A, which was good. But
because they're a massive club, and obviously, like 2002, they've just come off the back of having Batistuta, Rui Costa.
Yeah, like you're talking players, I mean, Batistuta, what a striker.
One of my favourite all-time strikers.
Definitely, Definitely.
And like I remember him most for that goal he scored against United.
Yeah.
What a beautiful goal!
I was going to bring it up actually.
What a beautiful goal! And Rui Costa's one of my all-time favourite like centre attacking midfielders. Like an unbelievable talent that he was. Very underrated.
Well, I was surprised. One of the players that I did read about Roberto Baggio. I completely forgot. And I just remember him playing in Italia '90.
Yeah.
And I think Italy got to the semi-final.
His little ponytail thing.
And what a striker! But he was playing for Juventus then.
Yeah.
So when I read that he had played for Fiorentina, I thought, Christ, I didn't know that.
Yeah. To be fair, he went around the clubs in Italy. I think he played for both Milans. Might have done. I think he might have played for both Milans. Yeah. Fiorentina, Juve, as well as obviously his first clubs.
They had these good strikers, good players, should I say?
Yeah.
I mean, when they sold him, it was a record price at the time.
Yeah.
So they had money coming in, but
just badly handled club, I guess. Yeah. But if we take a look at our transfer for next season, £26 million that we've been given. Now we might get a little bit more because £34 million Federico Chiesa, we've mentioned him a few times.
Yeah, we like him, don't we?
He leaves because he joins Juve permanently. So we do get the money for that. Obviously, another Fiorentina player. Yeah. His dad, Chiesa, was really good. We lose him, which is a winger, and that's kind of the reason why I've been staying with a very narrow formation.
Right.
We don't have the wingers to play wingers, really. We're losing Chiesa, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of battling and see what we can bring in.
To improve what we've done then, isn't it?
Exactly. So let's have a look at the second season. So yes, on the outs, £34 million for Chiesa gives us 36 million. We've only spent 20 million. However, what we have done is brought in 2 unbelievable free transfers. One of them being Andrea Belotti from what we would have done, Torino. We've brought in Belotti, somebody who I think is fantastic, not only in the game, but in real life. We've seen his record before. If we take a look, I think it was this season here, 26 goals in 35 appearances as a youngster for Torino is absolutely incredible. He scored 16 goals last season in his final year in Torino. We got 2 goals out of him already on a free transfer. The fact that we've managed to pick him up, I think, is a big statement in this league. Him and Dusan up top, that's scary. We've also managed to fill in somebody in the midfield. Steven Eustaquio is a Canadian player who in the game is phenomenal. I've used him in my PSV Twitch save, twitch.tv/MegaLukeGaming.
Canadian players, do you?
You don't know. No. He is really good. And a free transfer at that as well. Good passing technique, really solid ball playing midfielder who's half decent at tackling as well. So somebody who could do a little bit of everything, and I like that in a player. And the fact that we can get him on a free transfer on a low wage of 11 grand a week, it's very hard to say that's a bad sign.
Player,
Absolutely. But the money we did spend was on that right back role. We mentioned that we were losing Odriozola, who was that right back role. We got Eustaquio in, who filled the other gap that Lucas Torreira left. Joshua Wagnerman, German, 21 years of age, has great potential in the game, can play on both sides, is what I like, can also play not only as a fullback, but as a wing back. And he's very pacey, good strength, got a little bit of everything. I like this guy. Football Manager fans are going to love him. He's been great on the game for the last 2 or 3 years. So the fact that we only spent £20 million, he comes from Hamburg, another team people are suggesting for us to do in the future because they're in Bundesliga too. Definitely something that will probably happen this year nonetheless. But £20 million, picking him up, I think it's a great signing. 3 assists already in the 6 games that we've played.
I'll take that.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the games that we have played so far this season, because schedule-wise, we have been amazing. Milan, first game of the season, 1-0 win. Then we have Napoli, and I think, Christ, they're giving us hard games. 2-1 win. 93rd minute winner from Gaetano Castrovilli after they equalised in the 83rd minute. So I was like, oh, God's sake. But Lecce was the next one. Lecce, I think this might be how you say it. 4-1 win there, nice and easy. Parma, 4-0 win. Venezia, a tight one. Dusan getting on the score sheet though. Then Benevento, a 3-0 victory.
The good thing I see there already, we're not conceding goals.
Hardly any. anything. 2 goals in 6 games.
That is a good start.
Very good indeed. So let's take a look at the reason for
Next
that
game
tactically. Yeah, tactically we're staying very much the same. And we've got Milenkovic on that right-hand side still. We've got Vlahovic at the top. But the signings that we've made just slot into the roles where we've had before. And players like Wagnerman will be taking that role. Players like Eustaquio will be filling one of these roles. I do think as well Gaetano Castrovilli will be the main player who plays in this role going forward. He's our number 10. He's our creative force going forward. I think Mazzala on attack very much needs that kind of player in it. Right, so second season, we are all set. Because right now, we are only 3rd considering the run that we've had.
But we're still joint top though, aren't we, really?
The other 2 teams, Juve and Inter Milan, have also won 6 out of 6 and still have a better goal difference than us. So a 3-horse race has already started taking up in this early season with a couple of teams batting around right behind us. So this is going to be good. Baraghi, 5 assists so far and the highest average rating of 8.32. That left-hand side, he's got that nailed down, locked down. It's a big season. I'm excited. Let's have a look to see how we do. Come on. So at the end of season 2, we stay in 3rd place. The 2 teams who were also unbeaten at the start of the season, they ran away with it. 92 points.
12 points, that's just not, you don't stop that, do you?
Yeah, I think we're 1 or 2 positions off.
Yeah.
I really do. I think if we have like 1 or 2 extra good players.
Look at Inter Milan and Juventus' goal difference compared to our goal difference. All of us, we stopped scoring.
Yes, by the looks of it. Yeah. And what's quite interesting is Vlahovic did not finish as the top scorer. Belotti did. 26 goals this season. It's not a high total either, is it? We've seen a lot higher. 20 goals in the league.
Yeah.
So as a free transfer, it's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he brings bags of like experience and the mental attributes that he has is phenomenal.
He's got in there, look.
Yeah, and I'm even going to use, because he's a model citizen, I'm going to use him as that mentor.
Yeah.
You can use mentors in this quite well to develop players, and he is definitely going to be used for that. So yeah, we haven't done that great. I mean, we secured Champions League football, but let's not forget we had Champions League football this year.
Oh yeah.
So our squad had to develop.
Yeah, so we had more games.
Yeah, we had a lot more games.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Champions League, how did we do? Well, we were knocked out in the group stage, unfortunately, and we didn't even have Europa League, which tells me we didn't even have 3rd place in our group.
Who was in our group then?
So let's take a look at that. So in our group we had Barcelona, Manchester United and Porto.
Yeah.
So it is a very tricky group to be honest.
We won 1 game and I bet it was against Porto.
It wasn't Manchester United. Home victory 1-0. So Ollie's at the wheel, I'm guessing still here. A draw with Porto and we lost both games to Barcelona.
Yeah.
So we've got battered by Porto away when we went to their stadium. So bit of a tricky group. I think it's one of those groups where it's like, it's not a group of death, is it? But for a third team...
Looking at the other groups, that was the group of death, though, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a tricky one.
PSG and Liverpool. Look.
Yeah, they got some terrible teams in there. This one doesn't look that hard. Even Rangers even qualified from this group in front of Benfica. The final is still to be played, by the way, and it's to be played between Ajax and Liverpool. So that's quite an interesting final. Like Liverpool, you'd expect, but Ajax
they're about the last couple of seasons, isn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they've just had really good managers and good youngsters just trying to keep hold of their players. But yeah, it's a tricky season, really, isn't it? Knocked out the semi-final of the cup. Goals-wise, Belotti got 26, Vlahovic got 23, 14 from Milenkovic, and assist-wise, Baraghi, he was running away with that. The only player to get double figures in assists. I think something needs to change around here, to be honest, because this isn't good from what I'm looking at. Tactically, we stayed the same pretty much, but last season I just felt like we were getting more out of them than what we did this season. So maybe we need something to change. So season 3 is going to be a big one. Let's take a look at our transfer. They're giving us £50 million. It's something to work with for sure.
Still not a lot though, is it?
No, I mean,
I think some of it is the money coming in as well. It's not a very big stadium neither, is it?
No.
I mean, what was it, 43,000 I read that they take in this stadium.
Yeah.
And an interesting thing I read about the stadium, and by the pictures that we've got there, I can't see if it is or no, and I tried to find it but I couldn't. If anybody from Italy could let us know. I was told that the stadium was designed in the shape of a D.
Right, okay, so flat one end curved.
Yeah. Whether that's true or not, let us know in the comments, because we love the comments coming in, so get the comments keep coming in.
Yeah, especially when you give us like facts about the club, especially if this is your club. Like, obviously, let us know.
But it only holds 43,000. But in the 1950s, they held a friendly between Italy and England.
Right.
And it held 83,000.
How did they? Just everyone just sat on each end of the seat.
Well, it would have been an all-standing stadium then, probably back in them days.
Just crammed them in.
But they got them in there, so
yeah. I mean, some of the stadiums in Italy are very outdated now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you look at, I think Atalanta's as well is It's a very strange and odd stadium with no roof. And
well, I'd say there's got no roof on that.
No roof on that one. It's very much like a baseball stadium, really, isn't it? The way that it's shaped and the way that the seats are. But very odd
let us
stadium.
know if it is in the shape of a D. I can't find anywhere to prove that it is, but that's what I read. So.
I mean, the year it was built was 1931. Yeah. It really looks like it could do a bit of a renovation.
Yeah.
But I mean, financially, I don't think they can afford that. They've only got £56 million in the bank.
Fans coming into the ground. There's no money coming in, is it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
We need a bit of success as well. We need to be in the Champions League to get the money coming in.
To bring the money in to begin with.
We need to get into the
later stages.
Yeah.
Right, season 3 then. Let's see who we've brought in.
Keep the old the like button going for us as well. My favourite number is 1300, so I want to keep to the 1300 again. Every time I ask for 15, I just don't quite get it. Every time I ask for 1,000, I get it. I want 1300. Get past the 1300. That'd be great. Keep pushing that like target button. All right.
Now, unfortunately, Dusan has moved on. No. I mean, he didn't score a lot of goals for us. He wasn't even our top scorer. Chelsea have come in. I think you're going to like how much we got for him, though. I mean, he does look like he's improved as well, which is a shame. We got 115 million for him. Now, for a player who only scored 21 goals, that's not bad.
I don't think there's going to be anybody except for Spurs who are going to return down money like that.
That's true. Daniel Levy would be like, make it 150.
Yeah.
So that's not bad, but that's a massive signing for Chelsea, taking him out of Italy now.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to replace that.
You can't afford to turn that down.
He is the biggest signing that we have, he is the biggest sell of the transfer window, but we have spent some money. In fact, we spent 115 million. First off, and a player from our local rivals, Pisa, Lorenzo Luca. We've mentioned him before, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He is 6'7". We've loaned him back to Pisa for a season because we've signed somebody else who can also play up top. And I think given in the development of playing first team football is more important.
Yeah.
Let's have a look to see who I signed instead. Keeping it Italian, Giacomo Raspadori from Sassuolo. So another team that's in that league. He's phenomenal, I think. 23 years of age, so that's the same age as Dusan, but he's Italian. He's very much a different type of player, whereas Dusan's more of a target player. He's 5'8", he's a tricky one.
Small.
Yeah, very good off the ball, 18 off the ball. When he gets in there, he has 15 dribbling, 15 first touch, and 16 for finishing. Yeah. He's a finisher of the ball. He's very much like a Michael Owen, I would say. Like a little bit of pace, not too fast, not too slow. Yeah, I like him a lot, to be honest.
Kevin Phillips.
Absolutely, Kevin Phillips, yeah. £33 million is what we spent on him, which that's really good. Considering how good he actually is. And Foot Manager fans will know how good Raspadori is in the future as well. I like this signing though. Omar Saleh. As a wide centre-back, Omar Saleh is one of my favourite players to go to this season. We picked him up from the Salzburg team, and he has everything that I think makes a really good ball playing wide centre back. 15 for passing as well as really good defensive attributes. He's 6'4", so he's good at the back. He's a towering figure, and we only spent £28 million on him. I say only, it's quite a lot of money for Fiorentina, but when we bring it in over £100 million, we need to bring in players like this to fill out our Champions League squads, obviously. We've also brought in another centre back in Morato, a player we used in the Benfica rebuild. Yeah. Really good, solid defender, Brazilian, 22 years of age as well, so he's got youth on his side, 6'3". Again, I like buying these tall centre-backs in. £15 million is all we spent on him. He was unhappy, he was transfer listed. I brought him in because he's hardly been playing for Benfica. Big mistake from them. We've seen how good he was in our Benfica rebuild. A third centre-back who can also play wide on the left side as well, Andrea Carboni, 22 years of age. This guy is more suited to playing centre-back because he doesn't have the best attributes going forward. We've picked him up from Cagliari, £13 million plus a player, and I think this guy's solid. I think he's really good as like a backup player as well, because we're playing that three at the back right now. We need the numbers. So I think it's important to bring in these players. That's the reason why we've brought in 3.
I think the good thing is, you're bringing in young players as well. So
and they're all a lot of talent.
Yeah, so it's good for the future for the team as well, really.
Yeah, and because there's certain registration rules in Italy that you need to abide by, so you need to have a certain amount of homegrown players, and you can only have like 2 non-EU players per season. And if you've maximised that, you have to sell them outside of the league. So it's made it very difficult to sign players that are South American. Morato didn't count because he's lived in Portugal for so long. He counts as Portuguese. So he doesn't count as that non-EU rule, which made it very easy to bring him in. But the final player of this transfer window is arguably going to be the most influential, and it's Lukas Sucic. He is an attacking centre midfielder, again from the Salzburg club, so we picked up 2 players from there. Actually, no, we've got another signing after this because we picked up another player from Benfica. But Luka Sucic, first off, let's take a look. He's 20 years of age. Look at his value already, 62 million. Our coaches are rating him as our highest midfielder, and he's 20.
That's good, isn't
He's outstanding. If we take a look, we only spent £15 million on him. He's only played 17 games last season.
He's already played 2 goals in 2 games.
2 goals
from a centre midfielder
and an assist with an average rating of an 8.25. He's good. He's very good.
I like the
he
sound
is
of this
very
one.
good.
I
Luka
like the sound of
Sucic.
this one.
Yeah, he is absolutely, and his physicals are really good for a centre midfielder. So I like him a lot already. I mentioned that other centre midfielder, Paulo Bernardo. He's a youngster, 21 years of age, from Benfica. Again, picked him up for only £9.5 million because he's been playing in the Benfica B team. So he was unhappy as well. He wanted first team football. We're going to give it to him because we need to pack out our squad now. Selling Dusan has given us the ability to bring in a number of squad players without getting rid of too many.
We finished 3rd last season and we weren't scoring goals. We've got a midfielder who can score goals now, and we've got another striker to go with the other one that we had.
Yes.
So hopefully we're going to score goals now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think our defence was good enough. It must have been to finish 3rd.
And we signed 3 centre-backs.
Oh, yeah.
So we've improved that, to be honest. So tactically, I think we keep what we had before, but we just changed the player roles slightly.
Yeah.
So now we've got 2 ball-playing defenders at the centre-back and a wide centre-back. The reason for that is that defensively then, we haven't got 3 players going forward and leaving 1 guy at the back.
Yeah.
We're always going to have these 2 guys here who will stay at the back. And Milenkovic, who is a very good wide centre-back, has the licence to run forward. Yeah. We've also changed this role from a half-back to a DM on support, meaning that he will go forward and help when we are attacking, but his main priority is to be defensive. The 2 midfielders in there, where we before had a ball winner and a Mazzala, they're now 2 centre midfielders who have a role of attacking. And I think that's quite crucial.
Yeah.
They come back, they help, instead of the Mazzala who doesn't really have that defensive mindset and tends to drift wide. The 2 centre midfielders stay in the midfield, because we're aiming to go for playing through the midfield. We've changed the left-back role to a complete wing-back on attack. He was our best source of assist last season.
Yeah, he was,
And we've changed the 2 roles up top for 1 pressing forward, Belotti, and 1 advanced forward, Raspadori, who's better at doing that. He's better at being on the last line of defence. He's got the pace, he's got the off-ball to break the offside trap and get that done. So, the games that we have played so far this season, there have been 2 of them, a 3-0 win and a 2-0 win against Sampdoria and Genoa. Luka Sucic got a brace in the Genoa game, and 3-0 was Gaetano Castrovilli, Milenkovic and Eric Pulgar.
No goals conceded.
No goals conceded. We are currently first in the Serie A. Torino and Inter Milan and Juve and Napoli all have the same record as us so far, but again,
there's only 2
games played. Let's have a look at the end of the 3rd season. So at the end of the 3rd season, we dropped down to 4th. Hey. We're joint though with 3rd.
So we haven't really.
We're still in Champions League. That's the main thing. We're still above teams like Milan, like Roma, Lazio, Atalanta. These clubs are all below us. Napoli have joined us though with the Inter Milan and Juve race. Juve winning it this year.
We were nowhere near them though, were we?
No, not at all. So that's a shame. Raspadori is our top scorer, but it's not a lot of goals again.
That's what we were hoping he was going to be. So he's done the job for us, but like you say, not a lot of goals, is it?
Let's take a look at the competitions then. We were knocked out of the group stage of the Champions League, and look at the group we have. Liverpool, Leipzig, Barcelona. We're not getting the luck there.
Barcelona finishing last.
I know. That's mental, isn't it? Did you see that Barcelona, by the way, in this year's Champions League?
Yeah, they've just been knocked out again.
Knocked out. They only scored 2 goals in their 6 games. That's bad. We lost in the Europa League quarter-final to Valencia, unfortunately. So that's a bad
result. European
result.
competitions, Fiorentina was the first Italian side to be in the top European competition.
European Cup.
Yeah, and unfortunately they lost.
Yeah, to Real Madrid. In Real Madrid's first
yeah.
reign of the 5 in a row, wasn't it?
They were the first Italian side to be in a final of the top European champion.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of history.
Yeah.
I mean, they've won the league a few times. They've won the cup multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, they've only won a Cup Winners' Cup once, haven't they? So that's the only European Cup that they've actually won. But they were the first Italian side to get into a final.
Yeah, so it's not bad history at all. The Coppa Italia, which would have got us into the Cup Winners' Cup back in the day, we were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Inter. And who went on to win that? Roma won on penalties against Inter Milan, who were the holders of that trophy. So, squad-wise, we'll take a brief look then. 28 goals from Raspadori, 15 from Belotti, that's dropped off, with 10 assists. We've got Pulgar and Nicolas Gonzalez coming in. but not a lot of goals coming really. Assist-wise as well.
This season, you know?
Yeah, I did assist. We've got a few players who are in double figures, but not as many as what I'd hope, especially with Braggy only getting 12.
Yeah.
I think things need to change drastically now. I think tactically we need to change. So season number 4 is a massive year for us, and I say that every time. But I think tactically, this is where it needs to change. So, on the outs, we only had £6.25 million gone. On the ins, I only made 2 signings. One was a free transfer. We got Anguissa from Fulham, who is a very good ball-winning midfielder, very pacey and got a lot of good physical attributes, teamwork, work rate, workhorse midfielder.
Good,
yeah, so I like him. Very good signing, I think, for a free transfer. But the big one, the left back, Baragi. He's 32 now. I needed somebody better. Introducing Owen Wijndal, who is a Dutch fullback. He's fantastic. What we like about him is his physicals are obviously great, mental attributes are fantastic, but 15 tackling, 15 crossing, there's so many 13s and 14s to like about him. He's young, we spent a lot of money, £47 million on him, but I think we have the personnel.
We're improving.
Exactly. He improves the team, and I think the only thing that really needs to change was the tactics.
Yeah.
So I've made drastic changes to those tactics. We're going to a 4-4-2, but it's narrow. So we've got a 4-1-3-2, really.
Yeah.
But we've got a DM role, which we're keeping because we've got a few players who can play that role really well. We've got 2 inverted wing backs now. We've got 2 at the back instead of the 3 wide centre backs that we've got in there. 2 Mazzalas on attack. They're going to give us the width.
Yeah.
As well as the fullbacks when they decide to go forward. And we keep the 2 up top because we got 2 really good strikers. So Paolo Bernardo didn't get a lot of game time last season, so I've given him the role of deep line playmaker in there to try and spare on more games, because if we take a look last season, he actually didn't play for us at all, which did surprise me, to be honest. I thought they would definitely have picked him, so I think we need to give him some game time just to give him a chance more than anything, because we've got enough midfielders now who can fill these roles. And I dare say it has been working, because in the games we've played so far, a 2-1 victory against Napoli. That's a difficult game all the time. We've seen where they were.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Luca comes back from loan, 86th minute winner from him. So that's great for Lorenzo. And I think if we take a look at his season that he had at our rivals Pisa, where we left him out on loan, 20 goals and 31 appearances.
So he's doing the business, isn't he?
Exactly. And they've got, that was down in the Serie B. They've come back up now because of that.
Yeah.
So that's good. He's basically brought our rivals to give us a derby each time, which is fantastic. And a 6-1 win as well against Cagliari. Raspadori gets himself a hat-trick, and Guisa gets one, and Castrovulli with a brace as well. Great start to the season.
Look at the friend against Roma though, 7-4. What
7-4.
a game that was.
Yeah, fantastic for us. And Espanyol as well, they're no slouch, 6-0 against
friendlies,
them.
we were scoring goals, which is good for the morale of the team to get them going.
Absolutely, and get them into a rhythm of play.
The first 3 league games,
with that tactic. So, let's see how we do at the end of the 4th season. And at the end of the 4th season, we take the Serie A.
Get in.
Come on. Now that's great.
Yes.
And 91 points, which is where we're seeing the teams who usually win it. We're not winning it by luck.
Mate, look at those goal difference, look.
Yes.
We hammered anybody around us.
Exactly.
40 goals difference.
Made a huge difference in what we did.
Is, yeah.
So Belotti got 39 goals. So let's take more a look into the league. 91 goal difference, like you mentioned. We scored 125 goals. Cool. Look how many more goals we scored than second place. 50 more goals.
Unbelievable.
That is insane, isn't it? Just a little bit of tactical changes.
We must have been top of the league all season.
Let's take a look. We look at past positions. Fiorentina, we dropped down once into 4th place. We were back up then after a couple of games, and then we dominated. Ever since, I mean, that says that down in November. Well, we've been top of the league since November. So that's not bad at all. We can see Inter Milan and Juve. Inter Milan was the team who was second place. Yeah. Well, we were first place, when we dropped down. Nobody could touch us. Nobody could get anywhere near us. So that's fantastic. We've nailed a league title with 2 years to go. 1 year to go.
Yeah. Tactical change.
Look at this as well. We didn't even have the top scorer of the league. Sam Lammer's got 30. We also got 30 with Raspadori, but Belotti got 28. The average rating was all us.
Yeah.
All of us. And then assist-wise, Castrovulli, he got the most assists. Wijndal got 18. We were fantastic. We didn't even get the most clean sheets. We were just scoring too many goals for anybody to catch us, to be honest. So it's been a long-ass time since Fiorentina won the league. If we go all the way back to 1968-69, we have brought back the league to Florence. That's fantastic. But we're in obviously other competitions. Cup will be nice as well.
Yeah, let's
take a look.
Let's do a double.
We were the runners-up in the Champions League.
I thought we had it then.
Runners-up in the Champions League.
Who beat us?
Liverpool on penalties. Absolutely mental how that has happened. So Liverpool's done it. Who actually lost to Ajax, by the way, in that season where we've seen them in the final? That's unfortunate, right? That's really unfortunate.
Money-wise, that would have been good.
Oh, God,
You've gone through all the money that you get all the way
through.
And got to the final of it. Yeah. So money-wise, I mean, all right, it'd been better if we'd won, but money-wise, that's brilliant for the team.
It was 1-1 after full time. Belotti scored in the 92nd minute. Veretout scored in the 116th minute, and then they beat us on penalties. And if we take a look at who missed, Raspadori and Pulgar missed the penalties, and only Bobby Firmino missed for Liverpool.
There as well,
so yeah, that's a difficult one to take, really. But we still got to be happy. We won the league. We were never expected to be in the final.
100%. You win the league and you get to the final of the Champions League. You've got to be happy with that.
Oh, for sure. And we take a look at the goals. This looks a lot more appealing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
39 goals from Belotti, 34 from Raspadori, and assist-wise, 28 from Castrovilli in assists. Vindal, 21. So many other players getting double figures for assists. It's fantastic to see. We've got one more season left. Who do we bring in? So on the outs, we brought in £37 million to the transfer budget. We sold players like Nicolas Gonzalez for £30 million, player we don't really need anymore. No. Igor left to Napoli for around about £8.5 million in total. And we spent only £42 million. We didn't get given a lot of money, if I'm honest. But what we have done, I'm really happy with. Let's start off with Moise Kean, a player we've seen in the Premier League for Everton. Didn't really have the best time there, but what he brings to us, great finishing, he's aggressive, really good off the ball. Physical attributes, he's fast. Yeah. He is fast. He's Italian as well. We got him from Juve. He hasn't really been playing a lot at all, to be honest, since he made his £24 million move. We only spent £4 million on him, so that's good. Yeah. We're going to introduce him from the bench, I think, most and foremost. And
he's a danger to bring on.
Absolutely. And then we got two great strikers.
Just when you're starting to get tired and you've got him coming on, you think, my God.
Exactly. It's going to be a nightmare. Also, we managed to sign Galini, who is a Spurs player right now, if you know, right? He's on loan from Atalanta. We needed a backup goalkeeper. We lost our backup goalkeeper. He's a fantastic one, considering he was Atalanta's first team goalkeeper for a few seasons after they then replaced him. Actually, he's been playing quite a lot, to be fair. So he's our backup. So it's not bad, really, is it? £8 million is what we spent on him, so that's great. But the biggest signing, and I'm calling him Rui Costa because he's Portuguese. Just that, Rio. You come from a different club. I understand that. But Vitinha, he's fantastic. 25 years of age. Look how much creativity he has, just in abundance, 17th vision, but also physicals. He's really pacey, agile on the ball, great balance. This guy's going to be amazing for us. Our coaches rate him at 4.5 star. They rate him as one of our best players.
Good.
Yeah, so we picked him up from Porto for just £30 million.
That could be a steal, couldn't it? It could just be a steal.
Huge steal. He actually played in the Premier League last season in real life, 19 games, Vitinha. I am really happy with this. And in 2 appearances so far, he's got himself 3 assists and a player of the match.
Good start.
8.5 average rating. That is huge for us.
That is good.
So tactically, we're sticking with the same, but we are not securing any positions. I don't think Paulo Bernardo did a very good job in that deep line playmaker role. We have changed 2 things. Where the deep line playmaker was here, we've moved it back into this role now.
Right.
So the playmaker is deeper, picking up the ball in deeper positions, because we've now got a lot of players who are great going forward. And we're just going to give them the license. We've got the centre midfielder on an automatic role, which means when it's attacking, if our mentality's attacking, they're meant to be attacking.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the automatic does. And if our assistant manager decides we need to see the game out, we change to a more conservative kind of role. That's what the centre midfield on attack does.
Yeah.
It just lets the player be the player instead of giving him instructions. I think that's the best thing about it.
Or write it on a piece of paper and give it to the player.
Exactly. I love that. It's fantastic, isn't it? Did you see the one where it was Fred went through one-on-one, missed that, and it just said, don't shoot? It's fantastic. We're getting so much stick, by the way, for Fred having one good game. Everyone's like, oh, those comments that you made about Fred. He's like, calm down. He's had one good game after a year of playing shit. So let's all calm down, shall we? Anyway, back to Fiorentina. I'm really excited. We are first currently in the Serie A because we have played 2 games so far. We played a lot of friendlies. So many. Bologna, 3-0 win. Belotti got 2. Milenkovic got 1. We are only against 9 men, to be fair. But Hellas Verona, another 4-0 win away to Hellas Verona. Raspadori got
7
a brace.
7 goals, 4 and none against. That's
not bad at all.
And we played Milan in the friendly and beat them as well.
We did. And Fiorentina, we are currently goal difference of 7. That puts us top. Sassuolo, Empoli, Torino are up there with us. we had the highest average rating so far.
Juventus on 3 points already after 2 games.
They've lost the game already to Napoli.
That's good for us.
Who have also lost to Sassuolo. So it's great. Atalanta, they've lost both their games so far. They're down at the bottom. So
this is an interesting season then.
Final season. I would like to retain the league for sure. Then we haven't won a cup yet.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum retain the league.
We haven't won a cup yet. I'd like to win that Coppa Italia if we could. So in the 5th season, we have retained, and we stayed on 91 points. 88 points was Milan, but our goal difference again, so high in the goal difference. We didn't score as many, only 111. Only 111. And our form at the end of the season, we dropped off because
what happened there?
Well, we obviously just won the league, so we just didn't really need to. We won.
Where are we saving players?
Well, let's take a look. We obviously beat Sassuolo at the end, but we drew against Juve, drew against Sampdoria, and lost against Inter Milan. We finished in 3rd place behind AC Milan.
Look at the line of the players, the teams behind us. Look, Milan, Inter, Napoli, Juventus. All the big guns, isn't it?
Not bad at all, really. Let's take a look at past positions then, because we were up there the whole time,
season.
other than once in February where we dropped down and then we bounced back up after. So we absolutely dominated this year. We are starting to dominate Italian football. But what about European football? That's what I want to dominate with Fiorentina. And we have done it!
Get in!
We have done it. We haven't won the cup. We're not at the 3rd round of that. But the Champions League, we beat PSG in the final.
2-0.
2-0 as well.
Our defence absolutely murdered this
Bossed it. 58th goal by Raspadori and 89th minute by Belotti. Those two have just been fantastic for us. The two Italians up top. What I like about this rebuild is we've really stuck to the Italian roots. The players who have been fantastic for us were Italian.
It was easy to bring in foreign players like we do with other things, but to bring in Italian players in their own country and get that result.
Absolutely,
And young players as well.
I mean, we've got players like Sucic who came in from Croatia. He's fantastic. Vitinha, obviously, who I named like Rui Costa. I'm going to show you how well he did, because he has been phenomenal for us this season. If we take a look at average rating, he is there with 15 goals and 25 assists this season. He got 19 assists in the league alone. For £30 million, that is absolutely mental. He easily got the most assists in our team with 25. Luka Sucic had a fantastic year as well. 14 goals, 15 assists. It's fantastic, really, when you look at it. And goals-wise, Raspadori got 42. Belotti got 28. It's huge numbers, and what a team we have managed to build. This is arguably one of my favourite squads that I've built through these rebuilds.
To be honest, I think if we went on another 5 seasons, I reckon we could have won a few more.
I mean, if we take a look at age,
Champions League's always going to be, sort of what sort of group you get and how you get on those. But league, I think we'd have gone through more league titles.
I agree. If we take a look at age, Belotti is really the only first-team player who's in his 30s, 32 years of age. The rest of them, they're still in their 20s, still in their prime. So if we did go on another 5 years, which people always ask us to do, we would completely dominate. And I really do think that's the case, because money-wise, we started to bring in a lot of money from finishing in Champions League, the good spots in the Champions League. So we just needed to keep adding to the squad, really. And I think tactically, we nailed it.
Definitely.
Completely nailed it. Well, Dad, thank you very much for joining me once again. Viewers, like target 1300 if you can. That would be fantastic. Hit that for Dad. That's his favourite number.
Keep
13.
the comments coming in.
Keep the comments coming in. Keep the suggestions coming in. Also, the Patreon poll will be there for next week as well. We got South American next week. So we don't know who it's going to be. There's a couple of Argentinian teams, a couple of Brazilian teams. We do. So there's a couple of Brazilian teams in there. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Make sure you subscribe. 30,000 subscribers is the next target. Bye-bye.